Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Janitor here, back with another cast. Today I'm going to be casting the fourth game in the best of 7 series between ONEKyhol and FXOpTiKzErO. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. We are on Jungle Basin, and that is of note as it is a interesting map taken off the map pool recently. Not as recent as this... Not quite as recent as this show match is. It's clearly still in here right now. But taken off the map pool, quote-unquote, for balance issues right now. Blizzard's taking a look at it for some of those balance issues. And really one of the main reasons is this expansion is exceptionally easy to take, and a lot of people use that to their advantage and expand early and get to that late game state. So we'll see how both players utilize that fact to their advantage in this particular game. We're going to be seeing Kyhol do nothing too out of the ordinary right now, just going to wall off his ramp. So yeah, pretty standard play right now, but one thing to note, like I said, this expansion is extremely easy to take. These destructible rocks play a huge role in why they're so easy to take. You see, both expansions are very easy to defend with just a simple ramp on either side, and then a small choke right over here too, so exceptionally easy to defend. You can leave your army right around in this area and easily defend here, or then swing around and defend there. So a lot of people like to do that early defense, and we're going to see FXOpTiKzErO looking like he's going to take an expansion first. No gateway coming down for him. You see this probe on his way over right now and saving up those minerals. So FXOpTiKzErO is going to do a very quick expand. In the meanwhile, we see Kyhol doing something pretty standard here, throwing down this bunker as well as the factory. We do see this scouting probe coming out here. It looks like he's moving around an odd pattern there for right now, and oh, looks like a second bunker is on its way, so Kyhol going to throw down a second bunker, and right now FXOpTiKzErO moving out to scout. It would be smart of him to grab that Zelmaga tower, but I still don't think it's going to be in range to spot that barracks, and it looks like no, FXOpTiKzErO is just going to move in, and this is going to play quite a bit of mind games with FXOpTiKzErO. This barracks going to start a tech lab right away, and he's going to suspect nothing out of the ordinary. And we saw FXOpTiKzErO go ahead and throw down that expansion very quickly, and he will have a hard time defending this. This is going to be a rough push. That 2 racks push early pressure. He's just going to move out with Marauders and Marines from that one barracks and do a lot of damage here. You see him saving up those minerals. Here comes the Marauder out right now. That barracks just now finishing. A Marine probably going to start getting queued up immediately out of that. Instead, just going to take that concussive shell, and now the Marine should be produced in no time at all. We're waiting on that Marine, but one Marauder out right now, and this is going to be very hard for FXOpTiKzErO to defend. You see that Cyber Core just now coming out, so that one Zealot will not be enough to defend even one Marauder and one Marine. He will have Kyle will actually have full reign of FXOpTiKzErO's base if he's not careful. So FXOpTiKzErO in a rough spot right now. May not know it quite yet. You see that Marine just now coming out. Supply capping himself just a little bit, but that supply depot is on its way out. And here comes Kyle scouting that probe on his way into the base. He's going to use this one Marauder to really kill it. You see concussive shell playing a huge role there, taking out that unit with no problem. And now FXOpTiKzErO might be a little bit worried. He's got 2 Zealots out right now, 2 Marauders, and as well as this one Marine and another Marine on the way. There's 2 Marines and 2 Marauders, so Kyle is actually going to be able to put on a lot of pressure with this early push. You see FXOpTiKzErO now expanding right now, taking that probe advantage, 22 probes to 16 SCVs. But Kyle is really looking to put on the pressure here. Really sizable army advantage for Kyhol right now, and that concussive shell is going to play a huge role. Here comes FXOpTiKzErO now, sees this push. It will be interesting to see how he reacts to this. Kyle needs to take out that Stalker. If he can do that, he can kite around those Zealots all day long. Looks like he's just going to target these. FXOpTiKzErO pulling all these probes off, so now Kyle is going to back up, try and do as much damage as possible, but those drones are pushing all of these units back, so a perfect response there from FXOpTiKzErO. Kyle going to continue to put on the pressure. Would like to see him drop a bunker, and there it goes down right now. So FXOpTiKzErO chrono boosting out all of those units, and now Kyle just putting on the pressure, trying to take out some of those drones. Taking a look at the unit counting station, FXOpTiKzErO still well ahead on those drones, so we'll be seeing how this push ends up working out for Kyhol. FXOpTiKzErO with just some fantastic micro right now. Both players playing at a incredibly high rate of play. FXOpTiKzErO just continuing to push up. He needs to take out those stalkers, and now it looks like he's targeted firing those stalkers down. Those Marauders doing a nice job focusing them down, and here comes the last Marauder. This one Marauder is just going to kite around all these units, so OpTiKzErO still a little on edge right now. He would like to kill all of those units, and a little bit of a missed micro there from Kyle, taking a few hits from those Stalkers. Needs to go ahead and take them out, doing a nice job splitting that micro up. There goes down another Stalker, and one more for ONEKyhol, so doing a fantastic job, just a ton of damage coming with that unit, and now quite an army value advantage right now. Just going to continue to put on the pressure here. The warp gate is now finishing though. Taking a look at the unit counting station, still ahead on those probes, and OnEKyhol really looking to do a lot of damage to OpTiKzErO right now. You see those Stalkers warping in for OpTiKzErO, and now those Marauders trying to focus them down. Those Zealots forcing them to micro a little bit harder, and now it looks like OpTiKzErO might actually be able to fend off this push. ONEKyhol not going to be able to regroup quickly enough. Here comes another Marauder. Would like to see him take this down. It looks like he is going to be target firing one of those Stalkers. Doing a nice job pulling it back though. OpTiKzErO, fantastic job there. It looks like Kyle is going to be able to take down one of those Stalkers. Going to have to get range up here. And there it goes, getting sight, now microing around here, but those units just warping in for OpTiKzErO. So a fantastic defense here from OpTiKzErO. Been on par the entire game, pulling off just the right amount of probes and defending this push quite successfully. So OpTiKzErO gonna feel fantastic after that push. Taking a look at the unit counting station. Probe count evening out right now. He is going to scout this barracks coming down and going to take out that SCV. Barracks lifting off, moving around, but now taking a look in the base of ONEKyhol. Really nothing has gone on, getting pretty high on those minerals, just now spinning him 3 SCVs, moving around here, and just now getting that command center up. So taking a look at the unit loss tab, quite even right now. Both players doing a good job, very even as far as units lost. And now looking around in the base of OpTiKzErO, does have those 3 gateways as well as that robotics facility down. So wow, a great defense there from OpTiKzErO. I thought that was going to be too hard for him to defend from Kyle, especially taking that early expansion, but really able to hold it off very well. And now Kyle transitioning and teching up to some units. You see that tech lab going down on the factory, so we're probably going to be seeing some of those powerful tanks come out from him. I would not be surprised to see a few more of those refineries go down and him tech up very well. So OpTiKzErO in a fantastic position. Taking a look at the unit counting station, or not the unit counting stations, but the food differential, 40 food to 68 for 60 food for OpTiKzErO. So quite an advantage now. You see that drone count going to be huge, quite a bit more. Wow, it looks like actually OpTiKzErO is actually, or Kyle, excuse me, is keeping up in the unit counting, or in the income station right now, but more than likely just because of those mules as they are out for ONEKyhol right now. But that, wow, quite a few of those SCVs queued up. So Kyle really slacking on the macro right now. You see all those SCVs queued up waiting for waiting to get built right now, so it will be interesting to see how this works out. Looks like Kyle is just going to build a Marine here, might try and take out some of these probes and even out the count here. An interesting play. I don't know why OpTiKzErO actually let that Marine get built, and here he comes, the Marine out right now, doing some damage to that one probe. Looks like he might actually lose a probe. Oh no, not quite focusing down well enough. Now he's just targeting the units on gas, forcing OpTiKzErO to pull these units back. Not sure why they ever left, but in the meantime now we see OpTiKzErO getting a good scout of the base. You see him bringing in that observer, moving around, seeing the army composition, and he's got one probe right here. Kyle can't actually see that probe, so he might be taking it out very shortly. In the meantime, we're going to be seeing OpTiKzErO throw down that Twilight Council, a great move here, and then that Templar Archive is just going to be moving into that Templar tech to deal with all of this units. And now Kyle loading up a drop, going to be moving into the base of OpTiKzErO, try and do some damage here. But yeah, I can't stress enough how fantastic that defense was by OpTiKzErO, doing a nice job, just completely shutting down that attack, and that was huge for OpTiKzErO to do that. In the meantime, we do see that command center 75% of the way finished for Kyle, looking to expand, probably going to take this this second natural, if you will. And now Kyle getting very close with that drop coming down. And another Dark Shrine. We've seen OpTiKzErO go for Dark Shrines almost every time in this series. In the meantime, here comes this drop, dropping in the back of the base of Kyle. And more importantly, he is going to be getting that scout of the Templar Archives. Knows that it's going down here, and he's going to target fire it down. That would be huge if he could target fire this down. Looks like a lot of units coming in for OpTiKzErO, so we'll see whether or not he chooses to target fire it down. No stem finished yet. That would have made a huge difference. Would have been able to take out that Templar Archives, no problem. Almost focus firing it down, and no doubt if Stim was done, that Templar Archives would have been gone, and that Psionic Storm would have been completely useless. So that would have been a huge pick for Kyle. And now Kyle going for those Vikings. I'm very surprised by this play. Still producing more Vikings, expecting that Colossi tech. That's really interesting that he's getting all those out, especially after he saw those Templar Archives down. So really surprised by that play. Would have liked to see him just queue up those medevacs and keep them producing. Now we're going to be seeing FXOpTiKzErO take that middle expansion. So both players going to take that middle expansion, getting that economic boost. It's going to be huge for him. And in the meantime, now those Dark Templars are out for FXOpTiKzErO. Moving about here, going to try and put on some harass. No turrets down right now for Kyle. So does he even know that that Templar tech is down? We're going to look around in the base. I don't think he sees it anywhere in the base of Kyle. It must have been going down right here. So clearly no vision of that particular unit. So a huge win could be on their way. Where are those Dark Templar? They are out, moving around the base. It looks like here they are, taking out some of those damage, and a scan coming down very quickly for Kyle, taking out those units. And now the missile turret going down here, going to give him some vision, and those bunkers are on their way. I think this would be a great time for FXOpTiKzErO to take advantage of the fact that these bunkers aren't finished, and the army value is a little bit in favor actually of our Terran opponent right now. But FXOpTiKzErO now warping in some of those units. You see the amulet upgrade done, and now these Templars will be able to do a lot of damage here. Taking a look at the army, the unit counting station. FXOpTiKzErO now pushing in. That Zealot charge just now finishing, a huge storm going down, trying to do as much damage as possible, taking out that tank. That's huge. And now another tank, not quite sieged up for Kyle. Some big storms going down, morphing in those Archons, and now looking to continue to put on those pressures. Those bunkers completely useless. Kyle trying to do as much damage as possible, and those Vikings just now joining the fight, not able to do very much at all. And there's the GG from Kyle. So an excellent attack there from FXOpTiKzErO to wipe out the army value of Kyle, and really couldn't do anything to defend there. Just not enough units at that particular time, and those bunkers were really what Kyle was going to use to defend that attack. So another good game there by both players, and we're going to be going into Game 5, so please stay tuned. Guys, you're watching SC2 Janitor's Cast. If you're enjoying the cast, please, I ask that you go ahead and subscribe. I would appreciate that very much. And don't forget, I do a lot of live casting for Hypercrew, so if you're enjoying me here, be sure and check us out every Thursday and Friday night. We will be bringing you a show match on Thursday and live tournaments on Friday, so a lot of good players get involved in that. I'd love to see you guys come out and let me know that you're enjoying the cast. So thanks for watching, guys, and stay tuned for Game 5.